Okay, I think I am audible and visible both. So now let's start here the remaining part of the first unit. Here it is given 1.8, that is basics of macroeconomics. So what exactly the macroeconomics is, and how we can use macroeconomic concepts to understand the business environment. So the first thing which is given here, so let me first check how to draw. So uh, color, it is already selected, yes. So macroeconomics is the study of the behavior and the performance of the economy as a whole. Means as a whole economy, if we can understand the whole economy, then it is much easier to understand business environment and use. So here given macroeconomics is the study of the behavior and performance of economy as a whole. It means understanding the behavior and the performance of the whole economy. That the study is known as macroeconomics. So macroeconomics here, macroeconomic theories make use of macroeconomic models to explain and establish the relationship among different macroeconomic variables. In the macroeconomy, there are many variables which affect each other, and out of those variables, how each variable affect the other, so that can be explained using macroeconomic models. Okay, why it is not going down? Yes. Okay, there it was. The main areas of macroeconomics are price level determination, investment, employment, product and money market equilibrium, exchange rate, etc. So, what different things are there? Investment, price level price level determination, employment, product and money market equilibrium, exchange rate, and many more. So, for understanding macroeconomics, the first point that is given, that is net national product, NNP, net national product at factor cost. So that is also known as national income at factor cost. This here gross domestic product. So gross domestic product, what is this? This is defined as the value of final goods and services produced within the borders of a country during a during a fiscal year. During a fiscal year, the value of final goods and services produced within the borders of a country is known as GDP. Okay, it means in a fiscal year, how much final goods and services are produced within the borders of a country, that is GDP. GDP includes income earned locally by foreigners and excludes income received by the national from abroad. It means whatever income comes from abroad, that is excluded. uh, Means the national living outside the country, if they send the money to the country inside the country, then that is not going to be included into the GDP. But income earned by the foreigners in the country, for example, if any American person is earning money in India, then that it will be included into the GDP. GDP is calculated at two prices. Okay, so GDP calculated two prices. The first, it is at market price, and the second, first here GDP is calculated at the market price, and the second one, it is at constant price. So whenever GDP is calculated at market price, the total value of the final goods and services produced within a year at current price. It means whatever final goods and services are produced, that is calculated at a current price rate. And in case of GDP at constant price, estimate estimation of GDP is in reference to some basic period. With respect to some basic period, we try to estimate GDP. Aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So aggregate demand means total demand for consumer and capital goods at a given price. At a given price, whatever the total demand for consumer and capital goods, that is aggregate demand. So aggregate demand includes the cap consumption, investment, government expenditure, and exports minus imports. It means that is net export. And aggregate supply here shows the amount of output firms plan to supply, and at different levels of prices. At different levels of prices, how much output firms plan to supply, so that is aggregate supply. The intersection of aggregate demand and aggregate supply determines the short run equilibrium in the economy. Okay, so here if I draw like this one, so this one it is aggregate demand, and this one it is aggregate supply. So this one it is AG, that is aggregate demand AD, and this one it is A as aggregate supply. So the point where these two intersect, so that it will decide the equilibrium in the short run. Next here, multiplier or investment multiplier. So investment multiplier, it is nothing but the ratio of the change in the national income to the change in investment. So here you see here M equals delta y divided by delta I. So here it is, this one it is the change in income, or change in the national income divided by change in the investment. So it means multiplier indicates that with 1 unit change in the investment, how much national income will change. So that is uh, indicated by the multiplier or investment multiplier. So it indicates the level of investment required to achieve the desired level of national income. So we use this concept to achieve a particular national income. Okay, if we for instance, if we want to achieve a particular level of national income, then how much investment we have to do, so that can be calculated, that can be estimated using this investment multiplier concept. For macroeconomic sectors given, so for economics, yes, sectors, the first one given, the household sector. Here you have on your screen, you can see the household sector covers all the individuals in the economy. They are ultimate consumers who consume the goods and services. This supplies finances to the firms. That means household sector covers all the individuals in the economy. They supplies financial, or you can say household supplies finances to firms, and they are the ultimate consumers who consume the goods and services. And it also supply the factors of production to different sectors. Here next, the firms. This sector comprises all the businesses. Firms here given, the second one, the firms. This sector comprises all the businesses. They hire factors of production to manufacture goods and supply services. And the third one, firms here comprise all the businesses. They hire factors of production, like they hire capital, labor to manufacture goods and supply services. Next you have the government sector. So the government sector involves the center, state and local governments of a country. So management and the regulation of the economy, it is slowly done by its monetary and fiscal policy. Monetary policy means regulation of money supply in the economy, Here that is given the monetary policy, the regulation of money supply in the economy, and the second one, that is the fiscal policy, that is taxes, public expenditure, and the public debt. Okay, here it is the public debt and the foreign sector. Sectors take Okay, foreign sector takes into account all the economic transaction with the rest of the world. Means whatever there is economic transaction with the rest of the world, that is included in the foreign sector. It primarily consists of exports and imports of goods and services. Three markets are there. So three major markets in the economy. The first major market, that is the goods market. So in this, goods and services are exchanged among different sectors. Here in goods market, goods are exchanged among different sectors. Second, given the factor market, here the factor of production are traded in this market. The factor services are demanded by the firms. Firms demand the factor services, and these factors are paid in the form of rent, wages, and profits. Then you have the money market. So in this, equilibrium is attained between demand for and supply of money. So here the demand and the supply of money. So the level of demand and the level of supply determines what it will be the equilibrium in the money market. Primarily, money is provided in the form of savings by household sectors and is channelized by financial institutions like banks. Firms borrow from these financial institutions, and equilibrium is achieved in the money market. The government regulates the money market by its monetary policy. Here, the banks works as the intermediary in between the household sector and the saving. It is channelized from the household sector to the firms by banks. The government regulates the money market by its monetary policy. So the regulation is done by the government, and it is by the monetary policy. Circular flow of income and expenditure. So what happens in the circular flow? So first, before going into the details of the circular flow of income and expenditure, now let's talk about the circular flow. The economic system can be viewed as the here I'm talking here. The economic system can be viewed as a continuous flow of income and expenditure. It is this flow that determines the size of the national income and the overall worth of the economy. Okay, it means there is continuous flow of money. Okay, there is flow of income and expenditure. It means from one place, uh, income is being generated, and then it is being used for any particular purpose. So there is a continuous flow of income and expenditure. It is this flow that determines the size of the national income. So how much there is the flow of income and expenditure, that it will decide the national income and the overall worth of the economy. So this flow can be understood with the interaction of two sectors, three sectors, and four sectors. So here it is only the interaction of different sectors in the economy. For example, in the economy there are many sectors, just like government sector, household sector, firms. So how income and expenditure flows among these sectors, so that can be understood here. So the first that is given the two sector flow. In case of two sector flow, here I am here right now. Two sector flow, uh, household in the left hand side given. Here you have the household, and in the right hand side you have the firm, and in between you have banks. It means savings by the household, it is channelized by banks to the firms in the form of investment. Okay, and for that there is just below there is given factor of payment. It means whatever investment it is being done by the household. For that the payment is being done by the firms to households, but this also through banks. So here given household supply factors of production, that is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurs to the firms. Firms in return make factor payments. Okay, so supply household supply factors of production, just like land, labor, capital, entrepreneurs, and the firms in return make factor payments, just like rent, wages, interest, and profits to the households. It means from one side the factor of production goes from household to the firms, and just opposite to that, from firms to households goes the return, or you can say factor payments like rent, wages, interest, and profits. So financial intermediaries like banks channelize the savings from the household to the firms in the form of loans. Okay, here I think spelling there is a mistake. There you have. Okay, I think I will change this because it is not visible. So where my pointer is, so that I will do so that it will become visible. Now here it is the loans. Okay, three factor model, just the way there it is in the fact two sector model. In three sector model, three sectors are involved, or you can say interaction among three sectors. Here we consider just like given as you can see on the screen, that is the household sector, the firms, and government. How these sectors interact with each other, just like household provide factor of production to the firms, and in return firms provide factor payment to households. And household also work in the government sector, and the government also in the same way provide different benefits to the household and to the firms also. Firms also help governments, and the government in return provide different facilities to firms. So there it is or you can say interaction among these all sectors. In the same way here, if we talk about four sector model, then in that case banks also can be included. For example, if we include here bank, that is the 10 banks here. If we include banks here, then it becomes four sector. So it means the more it depends on us that how many sectors we include into the circular flow model, and then on that basis we can explain how economic activities occur. So that is over, I think. So thank you. So let me check. Yes, that is over.